Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and the programs including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The Credit Union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for Tuesday, the 7th of July, 2020. In the headlines, Grenada remains COVID-19 free as the 8 people in isolation are released. Education Minister says students' return to the classrooms depends on COVID-19. Government lifts COVID-19 curfew. Canadian bank note gifts the General Hospital with 2 PCR machines. In the sports news, Grenada Football Association gets green light to resume competitive football. And in Around the Globe, Fuad Abubakar to sue Gary Griffith after he was arrested following last Tuesday's unrest. And the U.S. government threatens to deport foreign students on student visas taking full-time online classes. Good evening, everyone. From the Grenada Broadcasting Network, I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. We'll be back after this.
Get high making money moves with the NLA's new Aces High Scratch game with 4 chances to win. Beat the dealer's card to win the prize shown. Reveal an A symbol. And just like that, you are automatically a winner. Scratch away to win the top prize of $10,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play.
Thanks for joining us. Health officials say Grenada remains COVID-19 free, and it's because of this Grenadians, as of Tuesday, have full freedom to traverse the country without worrying about getting caught within curfew hours. Christina John tells us more.
Health Minister Nicholas Steele says Grenada remains COVID-19 free as the final 8 persons being monitored in quarantine were sent home.
With 0 cases, that includes anyone that was in quarantine or so. We have individuals that are coming in and remain in quarantine for the necessary testing and observation. But to date, there are no positive cases, and with our fingers crossed, we hope that that would continue, but we have the necessary precautions in place.
People have been apprehensive about the reopening of Grenada's airport. However, with only chartered flights allowed entry from July 1st, health officials say the necessary protocols have been put in place and are being followed to limit the possibility of spreading the virus. Declared COVID-19 free, government has now lifted the curfew. The new emergency powers COVID-19 regulations, which applies from 7 a.m. on the 7th day of July 2020 and ending at 11:59 p.m. on the 14th day of July 2020. What does that mean? Minister Steele explains.
for the curfew that existed, we believe right now the risk level is low enough that we can remove that curfew restriction. It doesn't mean that the risk level is no longer existent, but we believe the risk level is low enough. That's why we're still asking people to wear masks, because we still do have people transiting in and out, and we still must be cautious. We've seen other countries that cautiously we can also move forward with a certain amount of freedoms. And if and when we see that risk level were to increase, we then would take the necessary measures.
Despite the curfew being lifted, not all businesses will be opened. Only those given permission under Section 5 and those granted permission by the Commissioner of Police, acting under the direction of Cabinet. The Minister provides a further explanation on restrictions that remains in place.
The gatherings, the mass gatherings are what we would like to avoid, but people can celebrate. Now, we would like to avoid mass gatherings, but we know that we are a free people, so to speak, and we come and go as we would like. So just with the necessary precautions, people can visit each other, but avoid large groups. We've seen throughout the world, nightclubs and those type of activities have caused mass spread. So therefore, that's why, although we've removed the curfew restrictions, we're still seeing that activity of mass gatherings. As much as I like it, like anyone else, we need to not have those right now, so that we don't spoil this good thing that we have.
Christina John, GBN News.
The reopening of schools in September heavily depends on the impact of COVID-19 within the coming months. However, Education Minister Emmeline Pear says summer programs are now allowed. Rita Pear tells us more in this report.
Education Minister Emmeline Pear did not provide a definite yes as it relates to the reopening of schools in September. During a press briefing on Tuesday, Minister Pear said the reopening of schools solely depends on the spread of the coronavirus in Grenada in the coming months. However, she warns that if school do recommence in September, it will not be business as usual.
Once things do not deteriorate to where it is right now, and we trust that would not be the case, I believe we would have an expanded version of the reopening of school. I do not believe that all of our students will be back in its normal way of operation. But I do believe that we will be able to accommodate more students than we did accommodate for the preparation of exam. How that will be done, there will be another special press conference to explain all of those details. But what we want to ensure is that in September, teaching and learning will be as close to normal as it possibly can.
Officials from the Ministry of Education also announced the commencement of a special summer program for the 129 students that did not get placement in secondary school.
We gave a commitment that we are very particular about children being left behind because of COVID-19. And so the program that Mrs. Nall spoke about that targets just those 129 persons, that would be for that period before school opens in September. Once we open in September, I anticipate that every student would have a diagnostic test done that would help to assess where exactly they are. And this must not be, I want to emphasize the paradigm shift that is taking place now. This must not be about what you missed during COVID-19. This must also be about where you are in relation to where you should be.
Minister Pear said this program is especially designed to equip them with the necessary tools to be successful at the next try. For GBN News, I am Rita Pear reporting.
Some parents and students must have jumped in glee when they heard the news that schools will reopen in September. For many, it has been quite a challenge being away from the classrooms for so long. Primary school teacher Elena Roberts has been assessing some of the impacts of the long absence from the classroom.
I was in school, good. But breaking news, come and spoil me mood. My teacher come and say, because of the coronavirus, we going home. It is a must for all of us. A part of me felt like holiday. And another part of me felt like something bad was on the way. I wish I could see my friends again. I miss the lunchtime fun, the play, the sweat, and the run. I'm home and mommy is the new teacher. But I miss because she's a lot better.
These poetic words of Alina Roberts give insight on how COVID-19 affected the lives of many of our nation's children. She highlighted possible impacts that children may have experienced this school year.
Of course, there are impacts in the general well-being of the students and even with my own kids. For example, with the spiritual well-being, there is the lack of the physical church now where they can attend Sunday school and be empowered spiritually. But although some of the churches resort to the Zoom meeting, but it's still different than the actual church. And I recall when I had my first Zoom session with my students, how thrilled they were to see their friends. And they were so excited. And they're like, oh, home is so boring. We wish we could go back to school and see you all again. And they kept complaining. So that it's on their mind. It is affecting them.
In spite of these COVID-19 impacts, Ms. Roberts highlights a few positives that have arisen out of the COVID-19 experience.
One of the positives that comes out of this COVID situation is that we have better parental involvement. Also, too, we get not just the educators, but the parents and the children. We become more equipped with the technology. And we know we lived in a 21st century and we all have to get into the technology. Even for me, at this point, I've learned so much. Some of the different programs like Zoom, how you can explore it, how you can have interactive lessons. It's like it calls for a time where the educator has to become versatile. So out of this, I believe that educators will be better equipped to deal with situations when it arises.
This educator feels hopeful about the future of the nation's children.
Definitely, I feel hopeful for the students.
Joseph McKee-Smith, GBN News.
Stay with us. We'll be back in a while.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Easy living should be convenient. With Grenneck, it is. Dial 237 for any Grenneck department, or for customer service, streetlight outages, or if it's unsafe to trim a tree near a power line. For streetlights and service issues, please note the pole number. From just about anywhere, you can also check your bill balance and other account information. Just keep your Grenneck access number handy. Dial 237 for Grenneck. It's that easy. Grenneck, energizing our Grenada.
Our superheroes are all among us. They don't wear capes nor have superpowers. In fact, they appear to be quite ordinary. They are the ones who provide us with food. They are our farmers, our grocery store workers, our vendors. They are our fishermen. They are the ones who heal us, our doctors and medical practitioners. They are the ones who protect us, our police officers. They are all the other essential workers who make this period bearable. And how can we forget our teachers, dedicated to educating our children no matter the circumstance? To everyone who is doing their part to make sure the wheel keeps turning, Ariza says, thank you.
Paying is faster and easier with Glow Fast Pay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/BassPay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Parliamentary representative for the Tongue of St. George, Peter David, says the St. George's Market is neither for sale nor lease. 2 months ago, vendors were relocated to the National Stadium car park to avoid cluster as health officials attempt to prohibit the spread of COVID-19. The minister on Tuesday tells of developmental plans for the market square in the coming months. Here's more in this report.
One vendor remains uncertain as to the status with the St. George's Market. Parliamentary representative for the Town of St. George, Peter David, gave his response to GBN in an exclusive interview on Tuesday.
I don't know if the market was sold to a Chinese or a private investor, because I can't see you have vendors sitting in the stadium going through all this torture.
Absolute nonsense. I'll tell you, I would buy the market if it were up for sale because I love it so much. No, that's absolute nonsense. The market belongs to the people of the country. I don't know how you're going to sell the market, but no, absolute nonsense, and I won't waste any time even trying to defend that. It's so absurd.
According to Minister David, the Ministry of Works is working steadfast to have vendors returned to the market in a much more organized and comfortable environment. Mr. David told GBN that vending along Melville Street will also be done in a more ordered manner as well.
Because what we are planning and what the Ministry of Works and those responsible for the market, the Ministry of Lands, is to ensure that we do some renovations in the market. Everybody is aware of the problem of congestion, the problem of the sanitary conditions in the market, and the need for us to do some overhauling. So a decision has been taken to keep the vendors at the stadium for some time. We're not sure how long yet, while we renovate the market, at least bring it into conditions that are best for the vendors.
He says, notwithstanding the financial limitations faced by government, they will do what is necessary, which includes designing sheds to accommodate the effects of rainfall and the sun. When GBN engaged some of the vendors at the National Stadium, they are saying, in spite of the challenges when rain falls, it's a much more relaxed location to operate. Not wanting to speak on camera, they say this may become their permanent place to ply their trade.
It's not that bad, but the only thing is like when the rain falls, we have a problem here because we have to sweep out water,
and take out. We can't leave nothing on the ground, like especially like with boxes and stuff. We have to take off that. So actually, I like it because it's more spacious. You know, you have enough space. People could pass and see every table, which you know what they're interested in buying and so. But I miss my place down there.
Selena John, GBN News.
Other news, Education Minister Emmeline Pear says more than half of the devices promised to secondary school students are on island and will be distributed at a later date. Here's the report.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Kevin Andel, says 65% of the laptops and the tablets promised to the students and the teachers are already on island. Addressing Tuesday's press conference, Andel says the devices are mainly provided for students to engage in the e-learning process, which is the new norm due to COVID-19. He said the devices will be equipped with the necessary apps for students.
This is not only, we are not only having devices, but we're having enriched devices, if I should use that term, that has CXC-based ebooks that are interactive. We already collected the data. We have to register every end user on the device and also on the mobile management system. We also have to register every ebook, and that in itself would take not a long period, but it would take us some time to do that. We want to do.
Teachers will also be able to manipulate and monitor the devices during classes to ensure every student is participating. When asked if parents should purchase textbooks, as they were told the devices will be equipped with e-books, Minister for Education Emmeline Pear gave this response.
There has been no instruction not to provide book lists. We expect that schools automatically, together with their report books, would attach those book lists. The Ministry of Education did not purchase additional books this year. And not just because of COVID and not just because of ebooks, a number of factors there resulting in that. And just to say that we will be circulating the books existing in the system. So I want to encourage parents, please secure those books for the date that your school asks you to return them. And of course, as they return, new students would be able to receive them. And this is what will happen for the school year 2020-2021. Linda.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
As more emergency restrictions are eased following the COVID-19 pandemic, people are emerging from their holding positions. Many are reviewing how the restrictions impacted them as individuals and businesses. This evening, we feature Nashon Jeremiah, an artist who does some of the most powerful creations on walls spanning Tantine and the Carenage.
For the past few months, there has been several discussions about the COVID-19 impact.
Gentlemen, the economic effects have preceded the spread of the virus itself. The financial markets have been swinging widely. Mr. Julian, I think you're calling it Black Monday.
Yes.
Nashon Jeremiah, an artist, highlighted the various ways in which COVID-19 affected his business operations.
This pandemic has definitely hit at my business because most of it is based on human-to-human interaction. You know, for example, face painting. There wasn't any social events, there wasn't no birthday parties, and when it comes to face painting, that was definitely off the list. Another thing that we do is commission murals. That we could not get to know places. We could not have gotten to know places, you know, because we normally do murals at person's home or out in the community or nearby streets.
So, how did he survive during this tumultuous time?
I would say that the only thing that shed a little bit of light in these dark times was the pre-ordered artwork. So persons who have pre-ordered, and because of the time that I had, I could have at least completed them, you know, to a point where the regulations were relaxed just a bit, you know, so that we could get it to the persons.
Like many other businesses, Nashton Jeremiah Arts made the necessary COVID-19 adjustments.
So as a result of this current situation, we had to take up new challenges, and one of those new challenges were online courses. You know, the online world. So we said, you know what, let me just tap into that, and we move forward in developing our website, you know, so persons can get in real time any artwork or any course related stuff at their fingertips. And that was one of the new challenges we took up, and we just continue working at it.
Art is his life, and he encourages others to pursue what they are passionate about.
I absolutely do believe that, you know, if you're doing what you love, you'll never walk a day in your life. I'm pursuing my passion with art. I would urge anybody who have a passion, you know, to take it up, and if it is that it becomes a career, then hooray.
Joseph McKee-Smith, GBN News.
Stay with us. We are reporting the day's news.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with Tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787, or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life. It's new, innovative and classy, and a cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together. The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
Hello again. Government has given the green light for the reopening of daycare centres. Here's all we know. Education Minister Emmeline Pear on Tuesday said that after careful consideration, a protocol has been reviewed by the COVID-19 committee and a decision was made to reopen the centres as the services are needed.
It means, therefore, that any person, any organization in Grenada to open a daycare facility must first be inspected, must first pass that inspection from the Ministry of Health. Not just pass that inspection by Ministry of Health, but thereafter the Ministry of Social Development, under which daycares fall. They do have responsibility for management and supervision of daycares in Grenada. And they would give that final go-ahead to any such organization or individual.
Minister Pear is advising daycare centres to ensure they complete all necessary protocols before offering their service to the public. The minister also stated that any private person wanting to operate a summer school program can do so, but with the permission of the relevant authority.
Every summer program will have to follow the protocols that currently exist for schools in operation. So the distance that students can sit, for example, the engagement between teacher and student, all of that would apply. So we're saying that any person, any organization can indeed have a summer program this year. No restriction on who. The restriction would be that you ensure that all of the students who will be coming to that summer program will be safe.
All right. Health officials reconfirmed that Grenada remains COVID-free, but the Ministry of Health is not saying no to any aid in this regard. The General Hospital was gifted with 2 PCR machines on Tuesday from the Canadian banknote. We get more in this report.
2 PCR machines, 1,500 swabs and 1,500 test kits from the Canadian banknote were presented to the General Hospital. The donation was presented to Minister for Health Nicholas Steele by Vice President of the CBN Simon Wall during a short ceremony at the new wing of the General Hospital on Tuesday. Wall rates the government and frontline workers for their efficiency in handling COVID-19.
I wanted to say is, when this whole COVID-19 pandemic broke out, Bill Gates said there are very few countries that can give themselves an A grade for the way they handled it. And I've been in Grenada this entire time, happily stranded in Grenada. And quite frankly, I can't say enough to say how well the government of Grenada has handled this crisis, and the figures speak for themselves, and I speak with a health specialist, the government, and all the frontline workers. I am astounded.
Wall, who has been in Grenada since COVID-19 lockdown, says it was a request from Minister for Sport Nolan Cox made this come to fruition.
We put into this program was $500,000 we put into the COVID-19 program. It all started with a lunch with Minister Cox. And I made the mistake yet again of saying, is there anything I can do to help? And he said, I'll let you know tomorrow. I get an email the following morning saying, I need 2 PCRs. One was a very specific PCR. And I remember saying, oh my God, this is like looking for a needle in a cane field. This was the time when everybody in the world wanted PCRs, April, and the second one shortly thereafter. And then we very quickly reacted, I think within hours, for the test kits. I think they were done the same day, the PCR, yeah. So we're just very proud to help. We love to help. We don't usually make a big noise, but...
Minister Nicholas Steele and Minister Cox expressed gratitude to CBN for their commitment.
It's time to say thank you to Canadian banknote and their cooperation, that they've had a long-standing cooperation with our lotto, with our passport department and others, and consistently have been a good corporate citizen and donor. So we received from them 2 PCR machines, plus 1,500 test kits, plus 1,500 swabs.
Those type of partnership and relationships, it is difficult to break, and every time you have crisis, you even get stronger. And CBN has stepped up to the plate over and over again. That's one of the things that they are quite modest in what they do and very sincere in what they do as well, and I really appreciate that.
CBN has come to Grenada's aid in the past, donating 2 ambulances to the General Hospital, financial contributions, among other things. CBN is also involved in biotechnology, which is pioneering research for cancer and anti-aging drugs. The Canadian banknote began its operations since 1897 and functions in 72 countries worldwide. Christina John, GBN News.
Thank you so much. Due to a technical error on Monday, a news story was not aired in its entirety. The Grenada Broadcasting Network apologizes to its avid viewers and listeners and repeats the story. A local attorney is sounding a warning against lying under oath. The warning comes from Derek Sylvester as the moves and counter-moves are made in the Evan Smith case. Last week, reports made the rounds that Smith's wife had trespassed and used threatening language against one of the family members involved in the fracas at Fort Judy. On Saturday, the drama continued to unfold as Mrs. Smith reported to the South St. George Police Station as requested.
After being dogged by reports that she was facing charges for the greater part of last week, she showed up at the South St. George Police Station just after 11 on Saturday morning. She was not alone. Mrs. Nicole Smith was flanked by attorneys Dr. Francis Alexis QC and Derek Sylvester.
I think you need a copy of this. You need a copy of section 359.
Reports had said that she was summoned by the police and could have been facing charges relating to trespassing and using threatening language. That was based on a report made by one of the persons connected to the incident at Fort Judy on June 25th, when her husband was allegedly beaten by a Caucasian family. Mrs. Smith and the family's attorneys spent more than an hour with the police and emerged just after midday. Attorney Derek Sylvester was asked if any charges were laid against Mrs. Smith.
There were no charges preferred, as was indicated. She gave a statement. Her husband also gave a statement. Dr. Alexis is here also, but he has to rush off. But she was not charged.
Sylvester was armed with a printout of the laws of Grenada relative to lying under oath.
I'd like to read this because this is important. I believe I would have given you all a copy. What is the penalty for perjury? Perjury is if you lie under oath. So anyone who goes to the police station, give a statement, certify that it is correct, and it is not, or enters into court and said, and states something that is false, this is the penalty. And let me read the law, because I'm a student of the law. Section 359 of our criminal code states, whoever commits perjury shall be liable to imprisonment for 10 years. And fabrication of evidence, section 361. Whoever fabricates evidence with intent to defeat, obstruct, or pervert the course of justice in any proceedings shall be liable to the same penalties as if he had committed perjury in that proceedings.
Indications are that complaints about Mrs. Smith allegedly trespassing and using threatening language were made one day after her attorney filed a civil suit against Sarah Houghton and Donald Kavanaugh. By Friday, 2 persons appeared in a video online giving their versions of the events surrounding the accident, which resulted in the death of the Kavanaugh family dog and subsequent beating of Mr. Smith. Sylvester says, a word to the wise is sufficient.
This case is a case that has been thoroughly researched, will continue to be researched, and persons who coming out, persons whose eyes and mouth has only been able to open after I filed the civil suit. Be very careful, because there are implications to telling lies to the police and in court.
Damian Marcus Williams, GBN News.
All right, time for this evening's GBN EyeSaw. Compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
A good eye captures all. GBN EyeSaw is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
In tonight's EyeSaw, we feature a drive-by graduation exercise held by Mount Pleasant Government School in Carriacou for its grade 6 students as they prepare to transition to secondary school. Our EyeSaw reporter said the principal and teachers went to the students' home and presented them with their certificates. Due to the protocols in place to curb the spread of COVID-19, the school opted out of staging the traditional exercise. The school is the first to hold a drive-by graduation on the island. You can send in your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or on our other social media platforms.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Good evening, sporting fans. Will fans be able to return to the stands? That's the question being asked as Grenada gets ready for a resumption of football competition. On Monday, the Grenada Football Association, GFA, got the green light from the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 committee to resume football training and competition. Following 3 months of inactivity, the GFA is hoping to resume club championship and have the national senior men's team and the under-15 team in training from next week. GFA's technical director Jerry Alexis says they are ready to get back on the football field around the island. It's still clear, though, about whether fans can join in on the action.
We would have requested permission for the teams that are actually participating within the GFA Club Championship to get out there and start training. It has to be an organized something, as you know, because we still have to basically respect all the protocols. Like we have the social distancing and stuff like that, and all these are outlined in our guidelines as to how we're going to go about training and stuff, which we're going to pass on to the clubs that basically going to be involved for training during that period.
And with the physical distancing still in effect, do you see the FA having fans in the stadium when these games are being played?
Well, as you know, it's for me, I would love the fans to be there. That is something I think the authorities will have to approve, because although they approve certain gathering, I know what our fans in Grenada could be like, and this is going to be a new something for us, a new culture whereby if you have fans in the stadium, they're going to have to be seated. We cannot be gathering and stuff by the bars and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us. We have to look at it. We have to wait very, very, very carefully, look at it very carefully as to what protocols and guidelines we can set up for such if we basically going to have fans coming to the stadium. The football around the world, as you don't know, is basically played with fans. However, in our context in Grenada, I don't think we had so much risk because, as I say, we don't have any cases at the moment, unlike the bigger countries in the world where there are cases, they are playing with their fans. But I would love for the fans to get back because, football without the fans, for me, I think is no football at all. So I think it's something that we as an association definitely have to look at and maybe meet with the authorities and see what guidelines we can put in place to basically have fans in the stadium.
Well, when the players of England and West Indies walk out onto the lush Ageas Bowl pitch on Wednesday, it will be a landmark moment for international cricket after a 117-day hiatus. The circumstances will be surreal with the COVID-19 pandemic, meaning no fans will be present in the biosecure environment. The only sounds being the thump of leather on willow, the chit-chat between the players, and some piped-in crowd effects. Once the strangeness of the new normal sinks in, an intriguing series looks on the cards between the sides ranked 4th and 8th on the ICC. We can also tell you that with England cricket captain Joe Root missing for the birth of his second child, England captain Ben Stokes will get to pit himself against West Indies counterpart Jason Holder. Holder, embarking on his 33rd test as captain, is first on the ICC all-rounder rankings, while Stokes is second. Both have similar problems to solve, namely fragile batting lineups that could be at the mercy of top-class bowling attacks. West Indies won the last series between the sides in 2018-2019 on home soil, but have not won a series in England since 1988. They will be looking to end the drought as cricket takes its first baby steps toward getting back on the field. James Saunders has been looking ahead to the series. We get more on that and other sporting developments from him.
Get excited now because we are just less than 48 hours away from the return of cricket. And the international cricket community, well, they can't wait. Actually, there is expected to be a high ratings when the first test between England and the West Indies bowls off on Wednesday in Southampton. Well, addressing the media today was West Indies head coach Phil Simmons, who gave his take on the keys to victory.
The key thing for us is that we play proper cricket in all three facets of the game. We keep harping on the batting. We're talking about the bowling has been strong, but I think we must feel well and catch well also to give ourselves that chance. So I think our frame of mind is that we have to play well in all three facets of the game in order to beat England.
The coach says this series may be the blueprint of how cricket goes forward. Simmons also stated he is sticking to his original squad for the first test, but there will be consideration afterwards for the reserved players.
Sitting in the hotel and just watching cricket, they'll have a chance to watch, but they have work to do too. You never know what can happen. It's 3 back-to-back tests, and you never know when you can be called off if that happens. I think the extended squad, I have been really impressed with the attitude of the reserves, as we would call them for now. Their attitude towards the practice, the training, everything has been exciting, to say the least, for us as coaches to see what's next on the pipeline and to work with them a little bit and try to push them and show them exactly what we need up here when they do finally select themselves.
Well, tomorrow the captain Jason Holder will take center stage. Cricket coming back very soon. Are you excited? Well, we're expecting a war as Windies fast bowler Kemar Roach is anticipating an aggressive approach. Well, that's from England understanding captain Ben Stokes.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ben Stokes. I think he's a fantastic cricketer. And we all know how he plays cricket. He's very energetic. Obviously, he brings a lot of energy to the field and a lot of confidence when he bats or when he bowls. So I'm expecting a very free and obviously relaxed England team to come up there and obviously express themselves, because that's the way he plays. So it's interesting to see him captain. Obviously, it's the first time I'm going to see it, but I'm sure that with him at the head, I think that they'll be in good hands as well.
Well, he's under the microscope lately, and now he's chosen to speak, as Coach Phil Simmons also addressed the call for his sacking by the Barbados Cricket Association President Conde Riley due to the fact that he left the camp for his father-in-law's funeral.
Not much surprises me in life anymore. It has not had any impact on us as a squad preparing for the game. I think it was sad, to go to a funeral and my father-in-law, who was very close to me. It's just sad. That's all I see. That's sad.
That's it for sport for the team. I'm James Saunders. Catch you later.
Thank you very much, James. That is the sports news for the moment. Around the globe, we begin in Trinidad, where leader of the new National Vision, Fuad Abu Bakr, would be taking legal action against Police Commissioner Gary Griffith after he was arrested following last Tuesday's unrest. But if what Bakr says is accurate, he's not the only one suing the police commissioner. The political leader alleges poor treatment behind bars and is calling for an end to what he sees as extrajudicial killings. Alicia Boucher has more in this report.
Apart from saying he was hauled away from protests and thrown behind bars with several charges slapped against him, Fuad Abu Bakr claims the treatment he got while in police custody was awful.
They have bright fluorescent lights. Not fluorescent, sorry, LED lights. I went into a cell and came out with a tan. We asked, can you all take off the lights in the night when we are sleeping? The officer replied, this is not Hyatt.
Apart from that, Bakr, who shared a cell with other arrested protesters at Besson Street Police Station, claims they were given bread and peanut butter as their only meal on the first day, and the remaining 2 days, 2 meals per day. That's in addition to being secretly given water by some officers who he labels as good after they were denied by others. He also alleges they were made to sleep on the cold floor. Bakr's matter is before the courts and he's out on bail, but his version of the events which he's been arrested and charged for is different from that of the account given by police. It's something, he says, Police Commissioner Gary Griffith would have to answer for in court.
I understand how dangerous it could be when people that lead organizations encourage, defend, promote illegal, dangerous conduct. Indeed, in the days coming, some of our litigation is going to be leveled against the leadership of the TTPS.
According to Bakr, he was threatened by a strong-handed officer while being arrested.
And he dragged me to my right. And he said, resist now, resist. And I understood what he meant.
It's what Bakr calls a language of violence within the TTPS, saying he's not prepared to speak that language.
I beg the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who are fed up of the abuse, who are fed up of being hit, who are fed up of being arrested for no reason. I beg them, don't speak that language of violence with the police. Don't fight the war on their battlefield.
But he says extrajudicial killings must come to an end, citing the police shooting of Joel Jacobs, Israel Clinton, and Noel Diamond.
Police in Trinidad and Tobago do not have the responsibility of being judge, jury, and executioner.
Bakr believes a change is in the air, saying he's confident as the NNV's candidate for Port of Spain South and would deal with such issues from inside Parliament.
I represent Port of Spain South. I walked straight through Port of Spain that day, and we are going to walk through Port of Spain in unity.
Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
All right, Alicia Boucher reporting there. Well, the U.S. government says foreign students currently on student visas who are taking full-time online classes could face removal from the country. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, issued a news release on its website announcing changes to the Student and Exchange Visitor Program for non-immigrant students taking classes that are moved online owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. Highlighting the fall 2020 semester, the release said non-immigrant F1 and M1 students attending schools operating entirely online may not take a full online course load and remain in the SEVP. Non-immigrant F1 students do academic coursework and M1 students do vocational coursework while studying in the United States. A second rule says the U.S. will not issue visas to students who enrolled in schools which are fully online for the fall semester and will not allow any such students to enter the country. Further, students who are already in the country and enrolled in fully online programs are advised to leave the U.S., transfer to an institution that offers in-person classes, or face immigration consequences. And the Brazilian president said on Tuesday he tested positive for the novel coronavirus after months of playing down the severity of the virus and defying medical experts, even as the pandemic killed more than 65,000 people in his country. The right-wing populist told a group of television reporters that he had developed symptoms on the weekend. That is Around the Globe. A reminder of the headlines in a moment. A reminder of the headlines if you're just tuning into the newscast. Grenada remains COVID-19 free as the 8 people in isolation are released. Education Minister says students return to the classrooms depends on COVID-19. Government lifts COVID-19 curfew. Canadian banknote gifts the General Hospital with 2 PCR machines. In the sports news, the Grenada Football Association gets green lights to resume competitive football. And in Around the Globe, Fuad Abubakar to sue Gary Griffith after he was arrested following last Tuesday's unrest, and the U.S. government threatens to deport foreign students on student visas taking full-time online classes. That's all from us in the GBN newsroom. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.